I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Item number 1 under new business, approval of a minor public works contract with Thompson Tractor for emergency repair to the Fire Station 1 generator. The total is $1,270.90. Scott, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so the funding would be outside the services, general fund. We had a power outage at Fire Station 1. The generator engaged as it should and had emergency power. But when the power was restored, it wouldn't go back to utility mode, so it was locked into emergency power, so we had to have them come out and rework it.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved. Thanks, Scott. Item number 2 is authorization to submit the FY26 Federal Aviation Administration pre-application for the Airport Improvement Program. Welcome, Jeff.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Each year, all airports are asked to submit projects for consideration in both ALDOT's grant program and the FAA's grant program. This allows us to discuss various projects that we're interested that were pulled out of our master plan effort and look for funding considerations. If they're interested, they'll send us what we call a go letter. So this does not obligate any funding at this time. We will submit a final application typically in the spring or summertime. That would obligate it. We'd have the final details, final dollar amounts before we go forward.
Questions?
So did you submit anything?
Say again?
Did we submit projects?
Yes, sir. I've got a list of them if you'd like to see those.
Yeah, or not in here, right?
No. So they are our cargo ramp.
Yeah, why don't you give us the
High level.
the top 3 hit parade?
So it lists the 5 years worth of projects that allows them to look out over the horizon, what's coming down, start programming dollars. The projects that we're most interested in is in 2026. Phase 2 of the cargo ramp. We just did the contract award for site prep. This will be the second phase. The next project is a GA apron rehab on the airport.
GA?
General aviation. So we have a pavement condition index that studies which is some of our worst pavements. So we've got some of those areas identified for FAA funding. And then the terminal is a part of that project, pending the approval on the earmark.
The terminal
Terminal
what?
improvements.
And those bundle total ballpark?
Depends if all are selected.
1.2 million, 5 million, 10?
For minus the terminal, it'd be just under 300,000 on the local share.
No, with the terminal.
The terminal would be 8.5 federal, and then the 13 on the local.
13.
Million out of Elevate. Yes, sir.
Where's Elevate? You got $13 million?
We've had that in our projected bond schedule that we've been showing the rating agencies.
Okay.
It's there but not spent, right? Is that fair, Carly?
It's planned but not issued
Planned,
and not
yeah.
spent, no.
Well, it could be there. We needed it. Kind of like that wheel
And
on that chair.
the rating agencies have been seeing it
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
during that process. Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions for Jeff? I would entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 2 is approved. Item number 3 is authorization to enter into a professional services agreement with DTPM for Tuscaloosa Municipal Court CRO Administration. The total $14,800. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you. So this is a 3-year agreement with this company. They handle the randomization software for drug testing for the court referral program. We enter the clients in and it schedules them randomly on a basis that we set. It's bi-monthly or 3 times a month. And it also allows us to keep a running history of their testing. So the implementation is $4,000. That'll be out of my operating budget for this fiscal year that we're in now. The $300 per month would be paid through the CRO contract that the state awarded.
So is that
Is that-
regardless of the number, or is that a limit? 300 a month, is that a limit on the number you can test, or is it?
No, it is just for the software. That $300 a month offers the support and
To
updates.
support it, okay. Question, sorry, Mr. Butler.
Yeah, it won't take a second. Just recently, 2 or 3 months ago, we reverted from contract services that two people were providing, and we
So-
took those into our own employee base, right?
Yes, so we moved
Is
our
this
court
related to
referral.
that?
It is.
And how?
This is the software that will actually, they have a number and a website. So each day, the clients that are in this program have to check every day to see if they have to have a random drug screen. This will allow them to use their individual identifier to check each day if they have a scheduled drug screen.
Okay, so we took the two employees into our own fold, right?
Yes.
And cut out the contract we were using. And now this is the software that allows people who are being monitored or tested
To
to
access
go in and find out if they are
randomly drug testing
being
that day.
ran, and if they are, what happens.
They would come in and complete their drug screens.
To, right over here?
Yes, in the court building with the two employees that we brought in under this program.
Okay, so you're gonna eat the first four out of your budget, and then 3,600 a year for the next 2 years?
Yes. For the next, it'll be for a total of 3 years, and that'll be included in the amount that the state pays in for our reimbursement of cost.
Okay. Motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is authorization to renew the as-needed professional services contract with Jones Media. The total not to exceed $30,000. Brandy, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, Brandon.
So this is the renewal of our contract with Jones Media Productions to handle all of our broadcasting and streaming services for City Council, Zoning Board of Adjustments, HBC, and Planning and Zoning Commission. This is a not to exceed amount of $30,000 that is budgeted within my outside services account.
So for about 15 grand a year, we are able to make all those things you just named
Yes, so this is
viewable for the public.
yes, this is so he is not charging us hourly rates. These are flat rates, so that we are regardless, they are unlimited amounts. So if he's with Planning and Zoning Commission for 10 hours for one night, regardless, it is going to be that $800 flat rate that he
Well, I
charges
said
us.
15, I was looking on the next.
Yes.
30, right?
Yes, sir.
And what else do we have to have with that to make this complete? Anything, or is that full up around?
So we provide all of the equipment that he uses to stream and broadcast all of our stuff. He just goes back there, and you'll see him in the back of the council chambers for our meetings. He goes back there and does all of the fun technical stuff that is required.
Okay, and is that Jones? Who is that?
Kevin Jones, yes, with Jones Media
Is
Productions.
he included in this?
He is, yes.
All right. Motion.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 4 is approved. Item number 5, authorization to enter into a professional services agreement with WVUA to administer streaming ads, TV ads, digital ads for police recruitment. The total is $14,935. Sarah, welcome.
Good afternoon, how are y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, sir, this is a professional services agreement with WVUA as part of our police recruitment campaign. The agreement is for them to administer ads on streaming services as well as on local TV and then digital ads as well.
Sarah, what was it we just dealt with related to this?
Yes, sir, so last week you heard about a similar contract for police recruitment. That one was with Hearst Media. That one was just for streaming ads and for streaming retargeting. So if someone shows interest in a streaming ad, then it serves it to them again.
And that was about what amount?
That one was about 10,000.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so here's another 15.
Yes, sir.
And then is that the totality of generally what we're using to buy the ability to push out our content for police recruiting?
So we also had a contract around 4,500 with Town Square Media to do a similar thing here locally. And then we're working on potentially some police recruitment advertising in the stadium. If we get that too, that would probably be around November. But that would be another one where we had to pay someone else to administer
Who
it
would
for
we
us.
pay for that?
UA.
You.
Yes, sir.
So just in these big chunks, that's roughly 15-ish, 30-ish.
Yes, sir.
to buy the ability to push out what we're producing, right?
Yes, sir.
And then are we producing, are we doing that in-house or are we going out and buying that too?
So we have the streaming ads that we're pushing out. We had an outside services contract for that with a local videographer to put together that video. That one was produced in the last fiscal year. Our plan is to make an updated version of that ad in this coming fiscal year.
And then are those two pieces, the purchasing of a provider to build the content and the purchasing of the ability to push it out through various pipelines, is that it?
Yeah, so we do some of the digital
And by the
advertising.
we're talking now just about police
Yes, sir.
recruiting.
Yes, sir. We do some of the digital advertising in-house, and we also do, earned media as well for police recruitment. But those two things are the big chunk of the expense, yes.
What do those two chunks add up to?
Oh, I don't remember how much
We
the
were
video
around
contract was
30 on the
last year.
first one. What a ballpark.
So
Content's
our
costing
TBD
us what?
our recruitment budget as a whole is $100,000.
Okay.
We're spending a big chunk of that right now, trying to sort of saturate the market, flood it, make sure people are seeing it everywhere, as opposed to kind of trickling out the advertising throughout the course of the year.
And is this still 2025 fiscal year money?
It depends on if A&F will let me use 2025 fiscal year money, but if not, we've got it in the budget for 26. I know we're getting tight on that timeline.
Okay. But on an annualized basis, we budget about 100,
Yes, sir.
and we're within that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I want to be clear that just anybody that's questioning, I run these on my show.
Yes, sir.
And I stream them too at no charge. So that's a public service. Of course, I wouldn't take the money and couldn't take the money. But I was wondering, when people see it, they're thinking, oh, I bet he's getting paid to do that too, but I'm not. Just to make that very
Correct.
You
clear.
would never do that.
No. I don't want to be back to see the guy we met with 2 weeks ago.
That wouldn't go well.
No.
All right.
Vote on
I just
yourself.
want to make it clear.
You would vote on yourself some money, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
That was real rich. There was a lot of things that could be said.
I know, but
But we're just not gonna do that.
I just chose not to say anything else.
Good. Motion?
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Item 5 is approved. Item number 6 is a franchise agreement for Unity Fiber Gulf Co. LLC. That's Gulf Co. Chris England. Chris, welcome.
Thank you. Usually we put these on public safety, but to accommodate the company, we moved the projects to get it going. And I'm just happy to say that I'm the one thing on the agenda that's bringing some money. You don't have to spend it.
And the committee appreciates that.
Motion.
Second. Good. Oh, slow down, hold on.
I know there's questions.
But generally, the Constitution of the State of Alabama gives the cities responsibility to manage their right-of-way. And part of that responsibility creates franchise agreements that are agreements between companies and the city and how they manage the right-of-way. So in this particular instance, this is a standard franchise agreement that we've been doing for years. It controls how much they owe us in the event that they offer telecommunication services. Also, if there's issues in the right-of-way where they're doing work to repair lines and so forth, they have to notify the property owner so we can end some of the issues that you had in several neighborhoods across the city. And also control how long it takes before they can repair, how they get permits and permit requirements and so forth. So essentially, it's a franchise agreement that governs their behavior in our right-of-way. And if you have any questions about the company in particular, I have Addison Franklin here. She's with Capel Howard, who represents the company that's seeking the franchise agreement.
Chris, what's the time frame of when this would happen if approved? This contract, I mean, what are they?
It would leave, if it's approved today, it would go to full council next week. Once full council approves it, it's advertised for 4 weeks. And then after it's advertised 4 weeks, it goes into effect. But as soon as you approve it on council, they can begin work.
One of the things that I think is really important, regardless of where you are in the city, is making sure that the citizens are given proper notice of what is happening.
Amen.
And they understand that, and I think we've come a long way from when all this started. I know probably a year or two ago with a lot of these upgrades, in the city, which I think are good. But I think the biggest thing is making sure people know what the expectations are when they're coming, and then how you get in touch with someone when a water line is hit or something happens, because something is gonna happen. It's just that there's gonna be an accident, right? And I think to me, that's always been my biggest concern, and I bet everybody at this table would say the same thing, is how the company will deal with the problem, and I think we've come a long way though.
Yeah, as a result of those conversations that we've had with companies that will remain nameless, but as a result of those conversations, our franchise agreements have evolved. So now each company has to provide a contact person. They have to give notice. They have to tell the neighborhood where they're going, when construction's going to start, and then also tell them who their contact person is. They also have timelines in terms of responding to issues that they've created in the right-of-way or in yards and so forth. So we have evolved to the point where, after responding to several incidents we've had over the last 2 years, or quite frankly, some of those companies have just ransacked neighborhoods, to the point now that we've gotten some quality control measures built into our franchise agreements.
Well, and I also think, one more, I'm sorry,
Okay.
President Tyner, but I also think it's important that in that communication, make sure the council people are, because that is evolved too. But Chris, you've done y'all done a great job of kind of steering this, I think, in a better direction based on the issues that we've had. I think we're in a pretty good spot right now with how it should be handled, because the last year or so, I don't know, the last things, especially in my district, and I'm sure everyone would say the same thing, have been a lot smoother.
Yep.
And there aren't as many issues because I think we've over-communicated part of that. And I just think we need to keep that.
And also, I want to
Going,
give Mike a lot of credit too, because he's also modernized our franchise agreements. So a lot of the information they have to provide also lets us know that they're aware of where our utilities are, so we can also prevent a lot of that from happening as well.
That's great. Yep. Sorry.
Chris, what are they actually doing with their fiber? What's it?
Now that I can't tell you.
I mean, is
She's
it,
over
Come on
there.
up.
is it,
Come on over.
what is it for?
Yeah, so a little bit, I'm Addison Franklin. I'm from Capella Howard in Montgomery. We represent Unity and its subsidiary, in this case, Gulfco. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. And at the current moment, Unity is in the middle of an internal financing transaction, and so they're shifting future growth in the company to this new entity, Gulfco. Currently, there's an agreement that the city has with Southern Light, and in an effort to continue serving the customers in Tuscaloosa, the Southern Light franchise agreement will remain in place. And at the same time, we're entering into hopefully the new franchise agreement between the city and Gulfco, and so future growth will happen in Gulfco. I can say with about 90% certainty there's no immediate plans for additional build out. Instead of additional infrastructure coming at the moment, Southern Light and Gulfco will share the existing infrastructure that's already in place in the right-of-way, but future growth will happen through Gulfco. And I will say, just to kind of assuage some fears, I'm sorry that there have been so many problems with other utility companies and the problems that have been caused. Unity is commercial, and so the vast majority of what we're going to be doing is in right-of-ways that are city and not necessarily dealing with residential customers, so not impacting neighborhoods. But of course, as Chris said, the company has to comply with all of the notice requirements in the franchise agreement, and also has to comply just with all of the requirements that the agreement has set forth. And there are emergency contacts in place, there's local contacts in place, so that if problems do come up, there's somebody on call able to handle those problems.
Is it internet? Is it?
It's fiber optic broadband, so fiber, telecommunications, internet, everything. So.
And is this simply changing the name on an existing franchise agreement we have?
Pretty much, yes. So,
When you can with 90% certainty tell me there's no build out coming, is that what you said?
Yes, so no additional build out. We're not placing any additional infrastructure in the ground at the moment.
Okay, we're just we're addressing Unity's and whoever else it was, internal
Yes.
provision for growth strategy?
Yes,
Is
that is
right?
correct.
Okay. And,
And of course, there are franchise payments under the agreement to the city. It's 5% based on the gross revenue under the services provided to customers here in Tuscaloosa.
5% of the gross value of services provided?
Yes, sir, quarterly.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Move second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 6 is approved. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Alabama Department of Transportation to temporarily store Savings Center construction materials under the Hugh Thomas Bridge underpass.
I'm not Audrey.
You're not Audrey.
I will.
Welcome, Scott.
This is actually probably more legal than it is architectural, so I'll attempt to cover and any questions that aren't legally based, I'll let Audrey answer. We have a lease with AlDOT for parking under the Hugh Thomas Bridge as it runs along Riverdale, Parker Hahn Park in that area. There are provisions within that lease of what we can and can't do. If we want to do additional things other than what's covered in that lease, we have to ask AlDOT for specific permission. In this instance, we have a number of construction materials, including some beautiful Alabama marble that Audrey and her team have gotten to clad the Savings Center. It is being delivered, and we need a place to put it. My understanding is that each one of these bricks weighs approximately 250 pounds, so we would like to put it as close as possible to where it's going to end up. And so this will be adding the ability to store those materials in our leased area underneath the Hugh Thomas Bridge from AlDOT.
Does it have to be, I assume it does, just set out there?
It will be, there
I
are,
guess you have to cover it. It's
There
gonna be
are-
the outside of a building, right?
exactly, there are lots of fencing and other requirements to protect AlDOT's infrastructure. I don't know what type of fencing we'll have to protect our materials. I think for the most part, they would be something that would be not particularly useful for someone and extremely difficult for someone to clandestinely move.
The contractor will put up temporary fencing around the area where they're going to be storing the pallets of marble, and then we'll cover it as well. And then in the memorandum of understanding, we also have to place barriers around the columns of the bridges to keep a 10-foot buffer so that loils and equipment won't hit the bridges. And so we will have Stone, the general contractor, provide all those protection measures to keep the bridge safe and also keep the marble safe from vandalism and damage while it's stored there.
That marble is beautiful. Did they donate that? Did a company in Alabama donate that marble?
It was discounted very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, big discount.
Is that the quarry up in Silicaca?
Yes, sir.
Other questions?
I don't have any other questions.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 7 is approved. Item number 8 is Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, ADECA, Sokol Park Lighting Grant Match, the grant match request. Adrian, welcome.
Hey there, I'm Adrian, COO at Para. This grant goes back to November of 2023, and that is when the city had started to improve the parking, started on the project to improve that at Sokol North. We had just installed previously the lights at the ball fields. So what we found out when the park got filled up again is that we didn't have adequate lighting for everyone that came back. So this is a small area in Sokol South. So right beside the multi-purpose fields is a parking lot, and this is where the new light poles and new fixtures are going to be placed. And then in the larger parking lot at Sokol South, right up the hill from that, those fixtures are going to be removed from those poles, and there are 2 fixtures on each pole now. They're going to change them out to 3 large LED fixtures. Also, not only the parking lot is going to be lit, but up there where the playground, and there's also a pavilion up there at Sokol South. So disproportionately lit for the most part, but after this, it is not. So we'll have both of those parking lots, and I think we'll be good on lighting at Sokol. One thing I will say, one good thing in addition to this is that we now house the flag football, and y'all know that is huge. So flag football and the USA girls flag football started there this year as well. I hope this is not the last thing that we're going to do for the area to do upgrades. So, but we received this grant, and it is a match. And we were just eager to contribute at the time to all the other lighting. So also, I did want to point out, I had made a note that with the security cameras that are going up, they're going into Mason's Place, I think probably earlier next year or something, that this will provide the infrastructure for future security lights as well throughout the park. So we were at a 50-50 match grant. It was $100,000. So we were requesting in the finance for the $24,637.50. That would be in the finance.
And that's
committee.
what proportion, Adrian?
That will be of the entire project, 25%.
And the county's putting up the other,
Yes, sir.
matching us to get the 50.
Absolutely.
The more, I think we've done a great job of working to light that park to prevent issues, but also there's a lot of people that are up at that park now, so I think
Yes,
it's a
sir.
good thing. So,
Is that coming out of tourism capital?
Yes, sir.
Motion.
Second.
a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 8 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adrian. Is there any other business to be brought before this committee today? Our next committee meeting will be next Tuesday at 2:30 on the 23rd of September. Hearing no new business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, second.